Good morning, everyone. It's Tess, and today's tip 414, and I'm calling it Drop the Blame Game. And the reason I say that is a lot of people through life, and I've been guilty of it at different times in my own life, we always look for someone else to blame why things aren't working. We can look at the reasons that might be causing us to stumble, but we have to take the responsibility to know that the only person who can change things for us is us. And it all kind of goes right back to where our thoughts go, and how we feel about things directs how we react to things and how we move forward in life. If we feel like we're a victim in life, there's plenty of opportunities where we become the victim. If we decide that whatever we face, we're going to stand taller and we're going to make it amazing, then that's always those breakthrough stories many of us hear about. And again, I'm still going through all these books and listening to some of them in Audible, but I'm listening to things that came to me through like the experience with Chris Nagel's team in Sundance in March, and Greg Reed's The Secret Knock in March also. And one of the books was talking about your thinking. Hi, Joan, good to see you. But it was kind of reminding us, like, we do the blame game a lot. We blame others. I can't do this. And I see this like even in some groups, and Doc V's talked about this in like our coaching calls and stuff, that no matter how much you try to help somebody, there's always an excuse why they don't want to move forward. They don't want to change. They don't want to, they can't. It's not that they don't want to, they can't. And I think that goes back to that blame game where we have to kind of identify, what can I do? We have to stop looking at and drawing all the I can'ts, I won'ts, I don't know how, and just find that one thing we can do to move forward. Because one of these books I'm reading is saying, really basically, your thinking determines your attitude, your conduct becomes your behavior, and they largely determine your success and failure in life. So it does all go around how we think, because how we think influences the actions we take, and the actions we take are what ends up happening in our life. And I thought, I've seen this, I've heard it, I've read it in book after book, in mentor after mentor. I even saw it with Greg Reed when we were in Secret Knock. He actually had somebody stand up, and this was not a presenter, and we had probably, I bet we easily had 20 presenters a day, because they were just blocks of time, up and gone, up and gone, up and gone. So many of them, well-known people. And he had some girl stand up who he's been coaching, and he had her speak for a few minutes, but she was part of the audience. And basically, more or less, he like slapped her hand right there in the audience and said, you're making progress now, but you blocked yourself for a while. And I thought, wow, that's humbling. And she kind of admitted, he said, don't tell me you're going to do the work if you're not going to do the work. I can help you, but you have to take the responsibility to take the steps and take the actions. I'm not going to say it's always easy. I'm not going to say it's always the most comfortable thing, but I do find that when I change the way I think about it, it becomes something that I enjoy. And when I learn to enjoy it and I go into it confidently, the results are always better. And I just keep seeing all the same thing. We are groomed as children to be taken care of, and that goes up to being 18 years old, and then all of a sudden you're out on your own. Well, you either have to decide to step up to the plate or you become the victim. And I will say, I can remember when I turned a certain age, and it was all of a sudden you had to make your own decisions. I wasn't comfortable with it at first. And finally I had to have a sit down, and I said, hey, let me ask your opinion and get guidance, or get, what do they use the word? They don't call it guidance, but you want to get information from people who know. You don't want to go to somebody who doesn't know and get advice, because that won't lead you down a path easier. You want to go to someone who has counsel. That's what they call it, is counsel. You want to look for somebody for counsel. That way you can get down your path quicker. But make sure that you're choosing counsel of people that have actually walked the road that you want to walk, or have a drive and a desire to walk the road you want. Because if you're getting advice, and they kind of were wording it differently. If you're getting advice from any Joe Smo on the side of the road, he may not have the drive or commitment to move forward. You want to get counsel from somebody who has done what you want to do, who has a drive and an ambition that you're trying to mirror or trying to duplicate. So it is really important to identify, are you getting advice from somebody who's never walked the path and who who throws in the towel before they ever get down the road? Or are you going to seek counsel, somebody who is willing to go and take those steps forward? And I think this book I'm reading made me think about that. Greg Reed actually stood somebody up that he was mentoring, and he more or less called them out and said, I can't help you if you don't help yourself. So it seems like he's so busy and he's so well known, and he's a top guy in like the mentoring and coaching world. And Secret Knock is very, very high up there in like mentoring events and self-help type events. And he's more or less, from everything I've heard, is if you actually work with him, he's no nonsense. If he works with you and he gives you advice, you take the advice or he moves on. He doesn't play around. He's like, I can find 1 million people and I'm going to look for the 100 that want to be helped. I'm not going to work with 1 million that don't want to be helped. And I've heard it in Doc V's voice a few times too, that, you know, he's really trying to help people, but we've got to take the responsibility. And that's where today's talk came in, because basically all of these, everything that I've been running into, it comes down to the same thing. No one else is going to do it for me. I have to take the steps. I can seek counsel, I can seek guidance, I can seek mentoring, but ultimately I've got to make the steps. I'm not a child looking for somebody to put food in my mouth anymore. I've got to go out there and make things happen. We are the architect of our lives, and we have to decide that we're going to make it a picture, or make it a tapestry, or make it a building that we're proud of, or we're going to sit back and be the victim. But the choice is ours. And I think that's where so many of us get hung up on, is that we're waiting for the white horse to come and rescue us. And the rescue is inside of us. It's an internal job. We are not a passive player in the process. If we become a passive player in this process, then we can't accomplish the greatest of the gifts that were presented to us. It's a hard thing to cross that line, and I will tell you, like, something that came up with Doc V last week is really important to me, and that I felt like a victim, and I didn't feel like I could move forward in many cases, and I allowed things to happen that shouldn't have happened because I had that victim mentality. And I worked a lot, and I know I've talked about this a lot, but I worked on self-worth and meditations and affirmations, pre-paving statements at Zara Mahood Unlimited, which are just statements that help me to say, okay, I want ease and flow today. I want harmony in all conversations. I want to end the day feeling happy and satisfied, and that I completed the tasks that needed to be done. I think it's always in supporting yourself and everybody around you. You don't want to succeed at the expense of another person. I think we want to be giving people. We want to have our hand out to help people up. We don't want to hand out, but we want to hand up, just meaning that counsel, that guidance to help us to move forward. But I'm going to say that even life is more exciting for me in the past couple of years. Life is more fun for me the past couple of years. Now that I've worked on the tools with the meditation, the affirmations, the gratitude journaling, the pre-paving statements, now that I've worked on the self-worth and the self-confidence, life is a lot more fun and it's a lot more exciting. And I'm seeing a lot more opportunities, things that I never even dreamed were opportunities being presented. It can be scary, it can be clumsy, but because we're connecting with groups of people that want to counsel, if somebody wants a hand up, not out, but up, it's become very beautiful. There's a lot of opportunities for everybody willing to recognize that the only one who can create the building that will be our life is us. So remember, sometimes it feels awkward and funny, but the more you do it, the more beautiful it becomes, and you can learn to truly create a beautiful journey. My journey is changing every day, and it's getting more beautiful, more vibrant, more exciting, more hopeful. And they say when the student's ready, the teacher comes. I'm surrounded by so many amazing teachers right now that I truly know I am the architect, and if I don't make it happen, there is only one person that I can blame. And I don't want to take blame. I want to see what I can accomplish. And my hand is out for anyone who wants a hand up, because together maybe we can create some beautiful things that will help others reach their hand up also. So have a beautiful, beautiful day. For those in Doc V's group, I will go live tomorrow night. He will be live in the Transform Your Life group starting on Friday. And let's all just create the most amazing life and stop looking at the things that maybe don't feel so good, and start looking for the things that can create excitement, joy, curiosity, and a love to get up every day to see what new things will present before us. Have a beautiful day, and thank you for being here.